A college athlete at a small university I saw just signed a deal worth over $700,000. But here's what nobody's telling you about that money. It's temporary. It's finite. And in 4 years, it could be all gone. While everyone's celebrating these NIL deals, I'm going to show you why the smartest athletes aren't just collecting checks. They're building something that lasts forever. The NIL gold rush is real. But if you're only focused on the short-term money, you're missing the biggest opportunity, I believe, in sports history. And if you are a parent or athlete watching this, what I'm about to share with you could be worth millions more than any NIL deal. Let me tell you. Let me give you the reality check nobody else will. NIL money has changed the game. Athletes at mid-major schools are making 30 grand to 250 grand. Some are pulling $500,000 more, 7-8 figures. It's incredible. Life-changing money. Well, here's the truth. You have 4 to 5 years max to collect that money, and then it stops. Think about it. Even if you make $1 million through college NIL deals, what happens when you don't make it to the pros? What happens when your eligibility runs out? You're 23 years old with no income stream. I talk to Olympians, NBA, NFL guys all the time. The experts I spoke with confirmed that there are 3 ways athletes get paid through NIL. Traditional, endorsements, collectives, and revenue sharing. Schools can now distribute, I think it's $22 million, which is crazy, through that. But while everyone's focused on collecting these checks, the smartest athletes are building something and doing something completely different. They're building brands. They're creating their own offers. They're thinking like entrepreneurs, not just employees. Here's the fundamental difference between short-term NIL money and long-term wealth. NIL money, trading time for dollars. You play basketball, you get paid. You stop playing, the money stops. It's a job with an expiration date. Building a brand, you build an audience, you create products, and you develop revenue streams that work whether you're on the court or not. Let me break down what smart athletes are actually doing. Strategy 1, building social media audiences. While they're getting those NIL checks, they're simultaneously growing their following, not just posting highlight reels, creating content that builds real community. Shiloh Sanders, whether you love him or hate him, here's what matters in his football career didn't go as planned, but he's not desperate. Why? Because he built a brand during college that exists independently of his playing career. Strategy 2, creating your own offers. The real play isn't being sponsored by brands. It's becoming the brand. Think about it. If you have 100,000 followers who love you, or 50,000, 20,000, 10,000, whatever, you don't need a company to pay you 50 grand for an endorsement. You can create a $97 program, sell it for 1,000 people. That's 97 grand, and you own it forever. Or you sell a $1,000 offer to 100 people, or 50 people, or 5, or whatever, or launch a camp, or sell merchandise, or create a coaching program. Strategy 3, building intellectual property. Your name, your image, your likeness aren't just for selling other people's products. They're for building your empire. The NIL money pays your bills today, but the brand you build, that pays your bills for life. Let me show you why this matters with real numbers. NIL only scenario. If someone just goes NIL, awesome, great, makes $250 a year, $1 million total, graduates 22, 23, no pro career, income drops to 0, has to start from scratch in the regular job market. Or scenario 2, makes $250, for 4 years, $1 million, but also builds 200,000 followers, launches an app or a funnel or something that makes 10 grand a month, then that's another 120 grand a year. Say you run a couple summer camps and you make 50 grand each, 100,000. You get a couple other, brand partnerships. There you go. And that's like 310 grand after college ends. And that's just 1 year after graduation. As the brand grows, you can continue to grow. And the thing is, so many people use a financial advisor, and it's probably the most important piece for these kids in college. And I've heard some horror stories of financial advising, horror stories. But I'll add the content creator piece, and becoming an entrepreneur is way more important, I think. Here's why. A financial advisor helps you manage the money you already have, but building a brand helps you create money that never stops flowing, and you get to make an impact. Another expert says, athletes need to invest early in savings, in life insurance, and investments, and in their own business, in their own self. But you know what's better than saving money? Building a business that generates cash flow for decades and impact. Now, let me tell you about the trap most athletes fall into. They get their first $100,000 check, $250,000 check, or whatever, and they're like, I made it. They got the new car, the new clothes, the new lifestyle, and I get it. When you've never had money, the first check feels like you've won the lottery. But trap 1, contracts are complicated. Every school has different terms, and some are backloaded, and sometimes if you transfer, you lose the money. You need lawyers and agents to protect you. Or the credits don't transfer. Athletes are jumping school to school chasing bigger NIL deals, but when you transfer, maybe your college credits don't transfer. You can end up needing another year or whatever. Drought 3, bad advice crew. At the high school level, there are people offering NIL money to lock it down early. They'll be like, here's $100 grand, get it back from the colleges, and now they control your career. But here's the biggest trap of thinking of all, I think. The biggest trap of it all is thinking the NIL money is the end game. The NIL money is not the opportunity. It's the funding for the opportunity. You use the NIL money to hire a video editor, create content, invest in coaches that you can actually learn skill sets like business and marketing, build a team that creates products and services and changes the lives of other people, and launching a brand while you still have the attention in the platform. And the athlete that makes $250, and is broke in 5 years and spends it, or the athlete that makes $250 grand, invests half of it in building something, they're a millionaire forever and 7-8 figure earner forever. So here's exactly what you need to do. Whether you're an athlete or a parent, you need step 1. You've got to accept that NIL is short term. Stop treating it like it's retirement money. It's temporary income while you build something permanent, in my opinion. Step 2. Identify your unique value. What can you teach? How can you serve? What do people want to learn from you? It doesn't have to be sports specific. It can be training strategies. It can be mindset strategies, training methods, nutrition, time management, attitude and athlete, your journey. Start creating content now. You probably are if you're doing NIL stuff, training tips, behind the scenes, day in the life, educational stuff. Build your audience. Focus on one at a time, I'd say. Post consistently, engage with your people, grow the following, and then create your first offer. Wherever you're at and your followers, you can start your own offer. You can create a digital trading offer that takes your time, that doesn't. You can do a group coaching offer that takes less time. You can do camps and clinics. You can do merchandise. You can do online courses. Start small, test it, refine, scale, treat it like a business. Use a portion of your NIL money to invest in your brand. 50% into your living and expenses and saving. And I'd say 25% in traditional investments. And then another 25% building your brand and building something lasting, your skill sets and the things that are going to matter long-term. Sports is taking kids from high school and making them entrepreneurs. So that's kind of the cool thing here, but you have to actually be an entrepreneur, not just collect the check and hope for the best. Here's what most people miss about this moment in history. For the first time ever, athletes have the money and the platform to build real businesses while they're still relevant. In the past, athletes had to wait until they're pros. And if they didn't make it to the pros, they had nothing. Now, if you can build a 6-figure, 7-figure business during college or right after college, you can graduate with money in the bank and a business that's going to take you farther and further than your NIL checks could. But you have to see NIL for what it is. It's startup capital. The school is essentially giving you funding to launch your brand. Most entrepreneurs would kill for that investment with no equity taken. Don't waste it on stuff that depreciates. Getting a $100,000 car or investing in jewelry or things like that, unless you're smart with your investments and all that. Use it to build assets that appreciate. The athletes who understand this, they're going to be wealthy whether they make it to the pros or not. And the athletes who don't, they're going to be broke by 25, 30, wondering where did all that money go. Let me leave you with this. You need a team. You need lawyers, agents, financial advisors. That's what they all say, to protect your money. But I'm telling you, I feel like you just need someone who has your best interest at heart. You need someone that's going to help you create a brand and someone who understands digital business. And maybe you need a content creator or someone to help you with that, depending upon if you like doing that or not, or do it all offline. There's no need to do it online. Because lawyers are here to help you get the bag, but the team will help you, and the people around will help you actually build something long-term. The schools are hiring general managers for pro teams. They're treating this like professional sports. You need to treat yourself like a professional brand, not just a player collecting checks, a brand, a business, an entrepreneur, an athlete CEO, an NIL money. So here's my question. Are you building a brand that's just collecting checks? Are you an athlete that's thinking just about NIL? Are you a parent trying to figure this out? What questions do you have about building a brand while playing? Drop a comment below, and would love to kind of hear what you guys think. But hopefully this opened your eyes to the real opportunity. Hit that like button, subscribe, share this, because I'm breaking down how to actually build your brand as an athlete step by step. And I'll just continue to kind of share the journey with you guys. So the NIL money is temporary, but the brand you build, that's forever. Let's get to work. You guys have an amazing day.